Welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. And today we're going to get into the big board, the big draft board. And the way this kind of works is each team will each team will rank their players 1 through 32 for the first round, but they actually do it for the whole draft. So what'll be done is the Steelers will rank their guys. Um, we're just going to deal with the first round. So what they'll do, they'll rank their guys 1 through 32, and like I say, this is the way the Steelers see it. Some teams, everybody's board around the league would be different because the Steelers might say player in their mind, player X is the number one player, and so on and so on. So, um, come draft night, basically what you do, you're sitting at 21 and you just scratch guys off as they get drafted. Scratch guys off. And you kind of see who falls to you at 21. If the guy that you might have had ranked 17th fall to you, that's your pick. Now, sometimes this do change a little bit just for the fact of needs. Um, so you might have a position that kind of fall to you that you really don't need, and it might be another guy that's maybe I don't know, two or three rankings down. You may take that guy over a guy that might be a little higher just for the fact that you don't really have that need. But the big board, it just it kind of helps you. Then it also helps you if you see a situation where, like I say, you're sitting at 21. We might have a guy that we had ranked as the 8th best player in the draft, and say you get down to pick 17 or so, and that guy is still there. Well, now that might trigger you to say, hey, we got to move up to get this guy. I mean, we really feel this way about this guy, so we need to move up and try to get this guy. And so you got that situation. And then also it can work the other way where sitting at 21, you got maybe three guys that you got ranked, around the 17, 18 spot. So you already know, hey, we're going to get 2 of these guys because the next few teams that got a pick, they don't have no need for these guys. So maybe we can move down 2 spots, pick up some more draft capital, and we'll still maybe get one of those 2 guys. So this is kind of how it worked. So what I did is, again, this is kind of my opinion of how I see some of the guys in the draft. And so what I did is I didn't do the whole first round. So I ranked like 23 guys. So like I say, we know the Steelers got the 21st pick. So I went like 23. So I went like 2 guys over because it's kind of hard when you try to do it, because it's some good players that you actually leave off, but also you kind of had to try to look at the situation of, who do the Steelers really need. So with that said, it's a pretty fun exercise. So we're gonna take a look at, and let's see what we came up with here. Let's see here. All right. So with me, I think Abdullah Carter is the best player in this draft. I mean, I know a lot of people say the quarterbacks, but I really don't see it that way. I think Carter is going to definitely be an impact guy from training camp, and he got a good grade, a 7.0. That's almost saying that he's almost a Pro Bowler as a first year player. So that's who I have as number one. So I would have him number one on the Steelers big board. Number two, Cam Ward. Um, I'm still kind of nervous. I'm still kind of nervous about these quarterbacks. You know, and we'll see more starting on Thursday at the combine. But I just I don't know, man. I'm just not really sold on him for some reason. And then also I look at that Kenny Pickett factor of playing in the ACC, which is, I mean, it's an okay division, but it's like to me, you're not really playing up against the best. I mean, he had a great year, and then he had a great year at Washington State. But I just don't know. I don't know. I'm not really sold on these quarterbacks, but I would say he's the number two guy on the board. Jennings, running back. You see the grade. I think he's highest. He's actually the highest. He might be the highest rated player in the draft. So they're basically saying he's a um, no risk, and he's definitely going to hit. That's what they're saying. So I think I would have I have him at the number 3 position, and I see him going fairly high in the draft. I think he'll probably be top. I'm looking at probably top 6, about top 6. He's gonna go early. Number 4, the big nose tackle, Nolen. Um, again, like I say, I'm making these rankings as what the Steelers need is. Um, a guy like this, you really can't pass up, even though a little undersized, which kind of is a little concerning because to me, I truly believe the Steelers need a guy to take up blocks and a space eater. And I don't know how much Nolen is really that. He's 6'3", 293 pounds. Kind of a guy that get up field and can get to the quarterback. And I don't really know in this position right here if the Steelers really need that. I mean, I feel as though they need a guy that can protect those linebackers and take up blocks. But he's a major talent. Number 5, Travis Hunter. Um, I think he's going to be more effective as a corner than a receiver, but you still be able to put him at receiver. If he play receiver 2 or 3 times a game, but I think at the end of the day, he's going to be a corner, and the instincts are there. Just, I mean, he has to get a little bigger. Um, Kind of frail. I mean, even though he's 185 pounds, but I don't know. He could be lighter than that. But um, I got him at number 5. Number 6, Will Johnson. Now, the only thing about Will Johnson would be, he's a guy, because you got to remember, like right now, everybody big board is pretty much filled out, but it's going to change a lot after this combine. So guys are going to drop, guys are going to rise. And I think Will Johnson is like one of those guys that could definitely drop. And I think he could drop because he may not run. He may not run as good as people want him to do. But if he runs, I actually kind of like him. Honestly, I like him kind of better than Hunter. I think he's big, he's physical. He's 6'2", 202. But like I say, the concern is going to be what he's going to run, and that could either raise him up or it could drop him. Shedeur Sanders, again, like I said, these quarterbacks in this draft, I'm really not sold on these guys as far as um, taking them real high. But that's just me. I looked at Sanders' film again, and it's just, that the ad lib is great, but I just don't think you can get that off in the NFL like that. And a lot of passes that he completed, you know, that that ain't gonna happen in the NFL. I mean, those are gonna be interceptions and all that little running around back there. He's gonna get his head knocked off. And to be honest, he's not that great of an athlete. Like, so I don't I don't know. I'm just, like I say, I'm really not sold on these guys, but well, time will tell. Number 8, Will Campbell. I know the Steelers have already um, kind of invest heavily on the offensive line, but you can never get enough good tackles. And like I say, the the jury is still out on Jones, so this would definitely be a guy 6'6", 320 pounds. Put him at left tackle, and I think he's a starter day one. Abad Minbar. I think he's gonna be a guard. He played tackle. He played tackle, but I think in the NFL he's gonna project into a guard just for the fact of he's only 6'3", so he's short, shorter arms, and that's just gonna be a problem. Trying to play tackle against these edges and not really having the length to fight these guys off. So I think he's going to be a guard, but I think he's going to be a hell of a guard. So, you know, kind of high to take a guard, but, he's a guy that could definitely step right in, especially here in Pittsburgh. He could step right in right now and play. I mean, he's honestly, he's probably will be better than both guards that the Steelers are playing right now. Number 10, Kevin Banks Jr. Again, the height is gonna be the issue here. He's 6'4", so I mean that's a little better, but just the length, because now you're giving up too much to these edge rushers, before you can make contact. So again, he may be a guard. He may be a guard, but I think again he could be eventually end up turning to be a Pro Bowl guard. So, um, and like I say again, he's probably better than what the Steelers are putting out there right now. Number 11, this is my first receiver, Luther Burton, the second wide receiver. 5'9". I wish he was a little bigger, a little taller, because we kind of got a lot of little guys. So, but but this is the one thing about this guy. He's hard to tackle, and he's a yak making machine. So, um, I like him, and he's actually moving up the boards here. So we'll see what his combine probably end up being. But I think he's the first receiver that I got on the board right now. T Mac, I'm gonna call him T Mac. 6'5", 210 pounds, big physical guy. He would be a perfect Steeler. Just a little concerned about what he runs. So the combine to definitely show that. And just how good of a route runner he really is. He, like I say, he has that big frame, and most of the time, your big guys like him, they're not precise run routing type guys anyway. So we'll see, but I got him ranked 12th. Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan. Again, 6'3", 320 pounds. This is what I think the Steelers need. This is the type of guy they need, that can take up blocks, but also when they need to, he can penetrate and get to the quarterback. He's just a little bit more bigger size. So I got him at the 13th ranked guy. Emeka Egbuka. Um, I really believe this is probably going to be the Steelers' pick. I got him 14th, 6'1", 205, good size, good speed, just a solid guy. I mean, to me, honestly, I look at him more as a solid number 2. I don't know how much he's a number 1, but he's a guy that if you could get Pickens straight, or if the Steelers bring in another guy, another receiver, he's definitely a good guy that can play on the other side and will be a solid addition to the team. Tyler Warren, tight end, 6'6", 261 pounds. He's another guy that you would just say is a playmaker, because, I mean, if you watch him at Penn State, man, they lined this guy up in the backfield, line him up as receiver, tight end, and he does it all. And I would say I would say he's better than Freiermuth. And if it came to it, he was sitting there, that would be a tough decision not to take this guy, because he's going to be a quarterback's best friend. And like I say, he's going to move the ball, help move the ball, and he'll be a great pick. Mikael Williams, the edge, 6'5", 265 out of Georgia. I don't really know how much the Steelers would be in the edge, looking for edges. I mean, you got TJ Watt, you got Highsmith. I truly believe these guys will be gone by the time the Steelers pick anyway, but this is where he fell in my rankings. Nick Swartzen, edge, another edge rusher, 6'4", 280. So this guy got some size on him. Again, probably going to be gone, but you can never have enough of these guys. And, I just don't think, like I say, I just don't think the Steelers are really in this market right now, looking for guys like this. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, another big, solid guy, 6'5", 310, a plugger. And like I say, these are the type guys that the Steelers really need in the middle to get that defensive line a little younger, but also, get some guys that can stop the run and protect those linebackers. Number 19, Mike Green, another edge rusher, 6'3", 251 out of Marshall. Had a great senior bowl, so we'll see how he does in the combine. He's a guy that can definitely do some damage at the combine, and he can probably elevate his stock a lot. So the combine is going to be very important for him. Kenneth Grant, this is a guy that no way the Steelers pass him up if he's sitting there. 6'3", 342 pounds. That's what I'm talking about. That's what the Steelers need right there to get that offensive line. I mean, get that defensive line together and have somebody that's going to plug that middle, and protect those linebackers and take double teams and just do all the dirty work. And a lot of times, these guys, when you look at their stat line, a lot of times they don't have no stats. But if you watch the game, you will really appreciate the type work that they do. I mean, like I say, he's going to take on double teams. He's going to grab two guys and pull them in there, hold them. And he has the strength to do that. And that allows Patrick Queen and and Peyton Wilson to use their speed, go sideline to sideline, or fill the gaps, and really help them do what they need to do, because they, like I say, they're not big guys. So when you don't have a big guy in front of them like that, taking on blocks, and now you got linemen that's leaking through and getting to your linebackers, that's what's happening. And then everybody say, well, I don't know, is Patrick Queen worth the money we paying him? He's a bust. But no, the Steelers wasn't protecting him the way they need to, because of don't have that big plug there in the middle. 21st, this will be the Steelers pick. Tyler Booker. Um, I like him. 6'5", 325 pounds. I think he probably could play tackle. I mean, he has the size, but they project him to be a guard. But good feet, good. He's a mauler, and like I say, if the Steelers want to be a team that runs the ball, a guy like this would definitely help you run the ball. And like I said, these are some extra guys that I kind of went over. 22, Josh Simmons, tackle, Ohio State. Just because of injury, he's probably this low. He would actually be a little higher. So this guy here is really would be a steal at 21, 6'5", 310 pounds, a tackle, great feet, great athletic guy. So a guy like him, like I say, if he drops all the way to 21, that's a win-win. Especially if he checks out to be pretty healthy, you can't beat getting a guy like that. And then the last guy, again, another guy from Ohio State. Now everybody see why they won the national championship. Devon Jackson, another guard, 6'4", 320 pounds, another smasher, broad. Like these are the type guys that the Steelers really need at that guard position to really be able to run the ball, open up holes, and get this running game the way that they think they want it to be. So that is it. With that, and that's my first round. That's my first round kind of projection of guys that I think that I will have on my big board as far as you know what the Steelers should do. So with that said, we will get back with you guys on Wednesday. I think we're going to do the Steelers chatter and see, talk about some rumors that's going around, and see what's true, kind of dissect what's true and what's made up and all that type stuff. So until next time, take care, and I will see you later.